question required, the question, the first question, let me pick it very fast from, before that, sorry. Let me run very fast to it. Screen. Most of us misfired, and I was a bit disappointed. We needed at least someone to give us the letter that was needed was a formal letter, but most of you were giving an informal letter. If you look at this, I asked you for a formal letter, and then the other one was a CV, but I realized some of you did not have an ID. So let's look at number 1. You have received your senior 4 final results, and you have passed. Write a letter to your school, to a school of your choice, asking for a vacancy in that school. I expected you as students to have picked a school of your choice, because all of you by now know where you want to go for A level. So I expected you to at least choose that school and use that as the address. Now you'll use the address of the school you're in, and then the second bit you'll be using, you will be addressing that letter to the head teacher of the school of your choice. For example, if you're in St. Peter's, Naria, and now you want to go to Namugongo SS, so you'll use your address will be of your current school, and then the second address will be of the school you want to go to. But still some of you did not do that. So we needed 2 addresses. I have an example that I have sent in our Google Classroom. You'll be able to see. There is no need to skip lines. Up to now, people do not know that we do not skip lines in English. Some of you were skipping lines, and yet it's not necessary. So there is no need to skip lines when you're writing a letter. There is only one line that you skip, that is between your address and the date. And then also you need to know that your date is written in what we call the indented paragraphing. And then the other one is the block. I have given you those notes that we shall be able to use. I'm trying to run very fast because my battery is about to black out, those who can see. So let us try to do research. Some of you have forgotten, you really see sketchy work. When it comes to the content, in a formal letter, the first paragraph is not greeting. If you are applying, there is no need to greet. In your first paragraph, you should clearly tell us what you are applying for. I hereby apply for a vacancy in your school. But you find some of you, hello, sir, I hope the good Lord is keeping you. No one cares about that. People want you to apply directly. This letter is a serious letter. There is no need to greet. So I have given you those rules in the letter that I have given you as an example, what you should do in the first paragraph, second paragraph, and all the other paragraphs. I have been able to provide those notes. The second question is asking you to write a CV, a curriculum vitae. All of you by now, I'm sure you have done that, but since some of you have forgotten, I limited you that the highest achievement should be senior 4, but people were giving me masters. Others were giving me certificates. I said the highest is senior 4. So we begin from the most recent. So I expected senior 4 and then P7. Those were the only 2 things I needed. I've also given you notes on a CV, and I've given you a sample of a CV. So those who failed, I expect you to do corrections. I marked most of your work, just a few who submitted late, just like you can see. Then for Moses, I tried returning your work, it refused. Even from Piri Annette, I marked, but it's not returning. I think internet issues. However, at least I tried doing most of your things. So unless you have very quick questions, but I am not able to teach this lesson and I've explained, you will find all the work I need in your Google Classroom under the file of Senior 3 notes, Senior 3 corrections, English. I will allow 2 questions before my battery blacks out. I will allow 2 questions. You can put up your hand and ask any question at least. Let me answer 2 or 3 questions before I log out. Okay.
So why aren't you going to teach us?
My battery, I have power issues. I just I kept a little battery to direct you where to find your corrections. But once I log in, we shall revise these things in our WhatsApp group. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yes,
Me,
Zoom. Yes.
teacher, the work of summary writing, it's not there on Google Classroom.
Yes, that is paper 2. In the next scheme of work, I have it covered. I will be able to look at summary writing. That is paper 2 English.
Teacher, also the one for minute writing, it's not
Minute writing, our scheme, that was not part of our scheme. I am going to scheme and teach in the next phase, which is starting next week, but 1.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
You're welcome. Otherwise, thank you so much. Sorry that I have not been able to teach you, but we shall share that work. I'm going to share also in your WhatsApp group, but please go to our Zoom classroom. Our Google Classroom has all the work that we need. All right, thank you. Mr. Kakuru? Mr. Kakuru?
Yes.
That's the best I could do. I have explained.
That's okay. We can end.
Okay, sir.
Me, teacher.
Yes.